first of all, thank you so much for agreeing to do this and to agree to be our Artist of the Month for August for the Heartland Song Network.
It's an honor. Thank you.
This world is our home, and we got work to do.
But yeah, it's kind of been a wild ride because I, had started to work out of the home, and then last year was the first year that I really, wanted to earn. My objective was to earn a living through music, and I was, I was pretty successful in that. With being able to go and wait, tend bar a couple of nights a week, or actually at some points it was just a couple times a month that I was on the schedule at Mulready's. And so I was doing pretty well. And now it's like both of those things are sort of out of the question for me. So nothing like reinventing yourself at 40.
Well, I mean, when we started the Heartland Song Network, we had a particular kind of game plan on how the first year was going to go. And of course, it's not going that way, but it's completely different, but it's made us become so aware of the details and how we can pivot and shift and how to be, because we want to be of service. We want to help folks like you that are committed to being creators and supply us the art. We were trying to figure out how we can best do that now in the circumstances that we're in.
Absolutely. I mean, a year ago, I was writing Music as Medicine. And at this point in the year, I had a couple of the songs written. I'm not a super prolific writer. I mean, I do have a lot of material, but I've been writing for 20 years. So I'm not one of these people that just sits down and knocks out songs.
Which you don't have a set routine.
I am the most undisciplined person you will ever meet, and this is part of my growing awareness in this time is like I'm not going to be able to support myself touring, and potentially for a long time, just because I don't know if I'll get the therapy necessary to get out of my house again. Like this time has just really caused me to come in and just I don't want to leave. I don't really want to be doing those shows. And like, I'm not really mourning. Yeah. I'm not really mourning the losses as much as I thought that I would. I mean, Winfield is coming up and I'll probably cry all week. But other than that, it's kind of like, fine, whatever, let's stay home. My process now has to be a lot more deliberate because, as a parent, I don't have that isolation time. I mean, we're isolated, but it's with each other, and I think a lot of my time is just like emotional energy spent trying to help her through this time, and sort of like putting myself aside so that I can try to make sure that this time is something that she remembers as being supported, as difficult as it is. COVID collaboration was the first time that I ever volunteered to do that, because that's normally something that I just would be exhausting. Yeah. Or I just thought it sounded difficult because I didn't think that I was going to be able to feel what another person was feeling, or like try to get into the same space. And then there's always concerns about like somebody trying to take over a project or not allowing things to really be collaborative. But this was a really that was such a unique experience because I'd never met Chris Winsky in person. We still haven't met in person. We just did everything, we had like one Zoom call and kind of set some parameters for what we wanted to do and where we wanted to go with it. And really it was like it was at the same time that I was able to do the Rural Regret Zoom
Monday night
thing. They a Monday night. And so I happened to be featured that night. Chris happened to be watching, so like he saw a couple of my songs and then was able to say, hey, I really like how you do this chord progression, maybe we could start there. I'm good with lyrics, is that cool with you? And I said, yeah, you write the lyrics and send it over to me. And then he did, and I did, add some lyrics for a bridge and stuff, but it was really it was so much easier than I imagined it being. I really kind of thought it was going to be like a drag or something, to be honest. A humbling reminder of like, this is who you are, this is what you do. You are a musician, you create music, this is what you're capable of. And just to have those little reminders anytime like I hear our recorded stuff here recently, I'm just really like shut up and humbled, because it's like, this really exists. I really am good at what I do, and it's hard to remember that when you don't get to practice it. I'm so spoiled to an audience. Like, I've been in front of an audience since I was a little kid. I've always loved performing, and something about performing that's just very gratifying for me. And so like not being able to do that is it's hard. It's hard to remind myself that this is what I do. And it's like, how do you sort of translate this now, the skill or this propensity that you have to be in front of people and to communicate in that way? How do you translate that to like a format like you and I are doing on screen? And I've been able to be a part of a lot of virtual events and do some live recordings and things like that, with varying degrees of enthusiasm. Like, I'll get really into it for a little bit and then it sort of drops off for a while. But I'm just kind of trying to respect, like, whatever this process is. I don't really understand what the next step is. I do long for the days that we can, gather. Practical needs, like my biggest hurdle has been technology. Okay. And I don't know, I'm trying to decide if this is something that Heartland Song has a responsibility to me for, because I'm in rural Kansas, and of course, like, I finally got a cellular hotspot. Until the middle of May, I did not have internet in my home. I was only using my phone. So because of COVID, I got internet at home. It's not the best, but it's not horrible. I mean, it works. And then I just had like a really junky laptop that I bought, like the cheapest laptop they had at Staples a couple of years ago. Well, just at the end of 2018, because I had to finish that grant application. It's so funny. Like, I wasn't able to do it because I was like going to the library to try to type stuff up, and I was like, okay, I've got to get it. I have to get a laptop. I'm a grown up. I need to figure it out. And like, now I have like all the equipment. I have these microphones and I have this mixing board and all this stuff, but my computer won't handle it. So now I get to give my laptop that I bought to my daughter and then come up with another one for myself, because it just won't do what I need it to do, apparently. And that's been a pretty big, I guess, barrier to like getting anything out. The caliber of talent, of course, we have the same caliber of talent as anywhere else in the world. Nowhere else in the world, has what we have too. In more than just being able to compete or be on the same level. Like, we have a unique quality that isn't found in other places. And I think that the Kansas City or area music scene, that was kind of part of what drew me to Kansas in the first place, was having, in Emporia, I sort of have access to Wichita, I have access to Lawrence and Kansas City, I have access to Manhattan, and then Oklahoma City is not far, and Omaha is not far. We're in the heartland, so I have this ability to hop around from here, and that's one of the reasons that I wanted to come here. But then on the other hand, even more than that, there's just such a rich legacy of regional original music that we celebrate. We know how great it is. 'Cause there's many a road to the high place.